Hello everyone, welcome you all to this new video. So in my previous videos we had discussed with some of the active filters. Based on the different categories we have decided that we are having five active filters. One is low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass, band stop and the all pass filters. Okay, so those things with respect to their ideal responses we have seen with the example how these things are categorized. Okay, so in that with respect to that also we have seen in the previous video, that is the first order filters. Okay, in that it is again categorized into based on number of transitions it to two types, that is one is first order high pass filters and first order low pass filters. Okay, so that also we have discussed in the previous video. Now in this video we would be discussing with the VCVS unity gain second order low pass filters. Okay, second order filters are only categorized into low pass filters, and one of them is the SALLEN key second order low pass filter. Okay, so here in the SALLEN key filter, as the name suggests, second order, it uses two capacitances and two resistances. Okay, so we are having two lead lag circuits which is compared at two different branches, and with respect to that we are going to be assigning that using the second order filter. Okay, you need to be remembering that only VCVS amplifiers would be using the second order filters. So here with some of the examples and some problems we are going to be analyzing these second order filters. Okay, yeah, first is silent key second order low pass filter. These filters are also called as VCVS filters because the op amp is used as voltage controlled voltage source in these kind of filters. Okay, so this below figure shows a silent key second order low pass filter. Here notice that two resistors have the same value. Okay, so here the resistors values are the same in case of silent key filters or the second order filters. You need to be keeping one thing in mind, that whenever they give any problem, these two resistor values would always be the same. Okay, so notice that two resistors have the same value, so that's why here they have mentioned it as R and R. In case if they give any problem also, you should be aware that these two resistor values always would be remaining the same, but the two capacitor values would be different. Okay, so that's why it is C1 and C2. There is a lag circuit on the non-inverting input, so this is that non-inverting input and this is that lag circuit which they have mentioned here. Okay, but this time there is a feedback path through the second capacitor C2. Okay, so you see here through the second capacitor C2 we would be having one feedback path in between two resistors. Okay, so at low frequencies both the capacitors appear to be open and the circuit has the unity gain because the op amp is connected as the voltage follower. Okay, so that's why this is the voltage follower, right? So because from the output voltage it is fed back to the input voltage, so that's why with respect to no what to say, for feedback resistance here we are having capacitance here, so that's why it is called as a voltage follower with respect to the unity gain. Okay, so you see here for this second order VCVH stage for Butterworth and Bessel components, we are for a low pass filter the unity gain is always the voltage gain is always unity. Okay, yeah, as the frequency increases, the impedance of C1 decreases and non-inverting input also voltage also decreases. At the same time, for the capacitor C2 is feeding back a signal so that it is in phase with the input signal. Okay, so it means that signal is getting fed back because we are using two capacitors at different branches, right? So that's why if one capacitor would be affecting in the impedance, other capacitor won't be affecting in the impedance. So that's why the feedback would be taking place simultaneously. Okay, so since the feedback signal adds to the source signal, the feedback is positive. As a result, the decrease in the non-inverting input voltage caused by the capacitor C1 is not as large as it would be without the positive feedback. Okay, so that's why this capacitors won't be affecting the complete overall connection of the circuit. Why? Because the feedback is positive, right? So with respect to feedback signal, when the source signal is added it would be turning positive, which would result in the decrease in the non-inverting input voltage. Okay, so non-inverting input voltage is V in, that would be getting decreased so that we won't be getting it won't be affected with respect to the large positive feedback. Okay, so this is the basic concept related to the second order low pass filter. Okay, in that we are having some components which you need to be remembering during the time of solving problems. One is the value of Q. Okay, Q value is fixed for a second order low pass filter, that is given by zero point 0.5 into square root of C2 divided by C1. Okay, whenever they ask the problems in my passing packet also some problems I mentioned where you need to be calculating the Q value and the pole frequency. Okay, So this is the Q value. It is constant for all the second order filters. Okay, it won't be changing at all, because in all the second order filters we are having two resistors and two capacitors. Okay, resistors would be of the same value and capacitors would be of different value. Okay, yeah. And the pole frequency is given in terms of f suffix p. Okay, that is 1 by 2 pi r into square root of c1 c2. Okay, so this is the formula for to calculate the value for the pole frequency. Okay, and in the other box here we are having again two components. One is called as Butterworth and Bessel. Okay, and these are the Butterworth coefficients and Bessel coefficient. Okay, so this is the Butterworth coefficient, which is constant, and this is the Butterworth, for the Butterworth filter the Q value, and for Bessel filter the Q value. Okay, so these are the constant values, you need to be remembering it. Okay, so with respect to Butterworth, if we solve it for Butterworth Q value, we would be getting the answer as 0.707, and the Butterworth coefficient is Kc equal to 1. But for Bessel filters, the value of Q is 0.577 and the coefficient, Bessel coefficient, is equal to 0.786. Okay, so these many things, while you solve the problems, you need to be remembering it very well. Okay, so you see here Butterworth and Bessel response. When analyzing a circuit like one shown in the figure 21.24, that is this figure, we start the by calculating the value of Q and FP. If Q is equal to 0.707, we have a Butterworth response, okay, and Kc value is equal to 1. And if Q is equal to 0.577, we have a Bessel response and Kc value is 0.786. Next, we can calculate the cutoff frequency, that is Fc is equal to Kc into Fp. Okay, this is the standard formula which is used to calculate the cutoff frequency with respect to both the Butterworth and the Bessel response. Okay, yeah. Now, some examples here with respect to these circuits. So, you see here in the first example, what are the pole frequency and Q value of the filter shown below in the figure 21.27, and what is the cutoff frequency? Okay, they have told us to calculate the pole frequency, the Q value, as well as the cutoff frequency. Okay, how it is done? You see here, as I've told you, this is a second order filter. How to identify whether it is a second order filter or not? You should be checking whether the values of whether we are having two capacitors or not. Okay, two capacitors and two resistors. In this non-inverting amplifier circuit, we are having two resistors and two capacitors. So that's why, that's the one thing. One more thing, how you can identify whether it is a second order filter or not, by checking the resistor values. You see here, these two resistors are having the same values. Okay, resistor values would always be the same in case of second order filters. You should be remembering it. Okay, so in this circuit here, the values of resistors are same, that is 30 kilo ohm, and here we are having 1.64 nanofarad and 820 picofarad. Okay, so these are the components given. Directly put the formula and find the value for Q first. For the Q, the formula is zero point 0.5 into square root of C2 divided by C1. Substitute that, zero point 0.5 into square root of 1.64 nanofarad. This is C2. Okay, the feedback capacitance is always C2, and the input capacitance with respect to non-inverting input, that is C1. Okay, so this 1.64 nanofarad divided by 820 picofarad, if you solve it together, you will be getting the answer as 0.707. Okay, whenever we get the value of Q as 0.707, this automatically would be the Butterworth filter. Okay, yeah. So Q is done. Now the pole frequency formula, we know that pole frequency is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi r into square root of C1 C2. Okay, substitute that, 1 divided by 2 pi, the pi value is 3.14, it is constant and fixed. Then R value in the question they have given it as 30 kilo ohm into square root of 820 picofarad into 1.64 nanofarad. Okay, if you solve it, you would be getting the answer of the pole frequency as 4.58 kilohertz. Okay, so now with respect to these, you could be simply calculating the value for the cutoff frequency. So since the value of Q is 0.707, it tells us that this is a Butterworth response. So the cutoff frequency is same as the pole frequency. Why? Because for the Butterworth response, we have the Butterworth coefficient value that is equal to 1, right? And we know the formula for cutoff frequency, that is Fc is equal to Kc into Fp, right? Here we have identified that it is a Butterworth filter. So now if you substitute that, Fc is equal to Kc into Fp, and we know that the value of Kc is equal to 1. So automatically Fc would be equal to Fp. Okay, so whatever the pole frequency we get for a Butterworth filter, that would be the same answer for the cutoff frequency as well. Okay, so that's why the cutoff frequency also in this case is equal to 4.58 kilohertz. Okay, so this is one simple example for a Butterworth unity gain. Now for the Bessel unity gain, for the Bessel function, what is the how the circuits are given, how you could be identifying. Okay, this is the example here. Here for this circuit here the value of resistor is the same, that is 51 kilo ohm, and this is again a non-inverting input. This is C2, that is a feedback capacitance, that is 440 picofarad, and C1 is the input capacitance, that is 330 picofarad. Okay, they have told us to find the values of Q and pole frequency along with the cutoff frequency. First Q value, that is 0.5 into square root of C2 by C1, zero point 0.5 into square root of 440 picofarad divided by 330 picofarad. So picofarad terms gets cancelled. If you solve for the other, that is square root of 440 by 330 into zero point 0.5, you would be getting the answer as 0.577. Okay, if we get this answer, we know that this Q value is constant value. This, if we get this 0.577, it is automatically a Bessel filter. Okay, so this whatever filter we got, right, this is the Bessel filter, and for that the cutoff frequency Kc value is 0.786. Okay, with respect to that you could be calculating the cutoff frequency. So before that we require pole frequency, right? So pole frequency Fp is calculated by 1 divided by 2 pi r into square root of C1 C2, 1 divided by 2 pi into 51 kilo ohm square root of 330 picofarad into 440 picofarad. If you solve this part, you would be getting 8.19 kilohertz as the pole frequency. Okay, you just verify it later by checking it. So here you could be calculating the cutoff frequency, that is Fc is equal to Kc into Fp, and Kc is the Bessel coefficient for a Bessel filter. That also you need to be remembering it. Here I've told you these things you need to be remembering. That is Bessel coefficient, it has a fixed value, that is 0.786. Okay, that you need to be substituting here 0.786 into 8.19 kilohertz. Okay, if you solve it, you would be getting the answer as 6.44 kilohertz for a Bessel filter. Okay, so these are the two important numerical examples with respect to second order filters which I wanted to tell you. Please note it down. So yeah, that's all for this video, guys. In the next video, we will be discussing with the VCVS equal component low pass filters. Okay, so that let us discuss in the next video. Okay, that's all, guys. Thank you.